So you finished making your chunky knit blanket and you just thought, oh, I would like to have hearts on it. I didn't add it when I was making the blanket, but I would like for it to have hearts on it just sparingly, you depending on what you want to do, but you want to do it after. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a kind of an updated version. I did make it last year, but the one I learned last year or how I did it last year was a bit more complicated. And over time we learn new things. I've kind of learned how to make it easier, and I'm going to be showing you that. So of course, as always, you need your stitch markers. These are lifesavers. I don't know what I'll do without them. You need your stitch markers, you need your scissors and lighter, then you need pieces of yarn of the color that you want to use. I would say you want to make sure you have about 4 to 5 inches. Each piece is about 4 to 5 inches. We're not going to use all of them, but I kind of prefer to have excess than not have enough, because we're still going to trim this down. Okay, and it's really easy, very easy. If you didn't add it while you were making the blanket, you can always add it after. I think these days I'm leaning more adding it after, because it kind of looks like more pronounced, looks like more 3D. I call it 3D, like 3D printed. That's what I call it. All right. So of course, you with the stitch markers, what do you do with this? You use it to mark where you want the heart to be, so you don't make any mistakes and be like, oh, I didn't want it here, I want it there. So you use your stitch markers to mark where you want it to be. Okay. I like to do this first, then take a look at it, see if I need to make any adjustments, if I need to move the places. So like now, look at that. I already know, okay, if I have it's kind of going like a zigzag pattern. If you want it all to be on the same line, you still need your stitch markers, so you know, okay, if you want it every fifth stitch, every fourth stitch, every 3 rows from up, 3 rows from behind, 3 rows from up is where I want it, or 3 rows from below, or 4 rows from below, or 5 rows from below is where I want it to be. The stitch markers is really going to help you, like kind of a guide, so you see where it's going. Okay. So now that I've placed it, I know it's going like a zigzag pattern, and I kind of like that. Next, you grab your yarn, like the piece of yarn that you want to use. So each of this, you remember when you're knitting, it's going like this. So this is like how the hat is. It's going like when you're looping the yarn. Then when you knit the second one up here, it kind of forms that hat, like the two piece of a hat sort of. So now what we're going to do is we want to mimic each loop of where you want to add the heart on. You're mimicking the loop that is there. Let's start with this one. I'm going to do this one later because it's like, I think it's off the camera. So I'm going to pick this one. This is where I want the heart to be. Okay. I'm going to grab this piece of yarn, loop it around so that the two ends are coming out in front. Okay. Like this. This is where the hat is going to be, but I had to loop it from the one above it, so it comes down like this. Now that I know it comes down like this, I'm going to be trimming it because I don't want it to be too much. I'll trim this one, make sure it still gets to where I want it to be. Okay, I don't want this to be too tight. If it's too tight, it might shrink. Then the second one comes down again. Now I'm going to trim it here also. See, that's why I said I prefer to have excess than not have enough. Now the hat is there. The lighter comes into play. The lighter is to burn it down. You want to make sure you get all the ends, then press down. Hold it for some time. You grab the second one, you do the same. You want to burn all the ends. If there's anyone excess, oh, shoo. Okay. I was talking, I forgot to burn. You don't want it burning too much. Okay, just press it down for a few seconds, and see it's not coming out. Unlike the first method that I did, I had to push it behind, then burn it behind the back and use thread and needle to sew it down. That is a bit more tedious than this. Look at it, it's not coming out, and it's anchored on this place. It doesn't have any bump here. Nice and seamless. Okay, let's do that again. Grab a piece of yarn. Going to be adding it on this one here. Just up a little bit. Okay. Okay. I want the hat to be on this loop, so I'm going to loop it up from this one. Then bring it out here. Get all the fuzzies out. Okay. Pull it. You want to make sure. Okay. You got it. Now you're going to trim. You mark it. Mark and trim. Okay. I said you don't want this to be too tight and you don't want it too loose either. Just for it to have room, not too tight that the hat now hides behind and you're trying to adjust it. Okay, then your lighter, you burn the ends, press it down, hold it for a few seconds, not a few minutes, hold it for a few seconds. Okay, then you grab the second one, lighter. Okay, I think the second one I'm doing it wrong. Ouch. You gotta be careful doing this because it's hot. You don't want to burn yourself. Okay. All right. It's not coming out. See? Now we have two hearts. See, it's kind of more pronounced, unlike the other one. That's why these days I'm kind of leaning more adding it after. That's why I said it looks more 3D. It looks more pronounced than knitting it in. Then let's do one more. Okay. You are going to end up with a lot of fuzzes with this, so make sure you have like a what is this called, a lint roller, so you can get all the extra fuzzes out. Okay, make sure it's not too tight. Okay, and grab the yarn and on all the excesses, press it down. Get this one. Got it. Maybe I need to. I'm not a lefty, but let's try doing it from here. Now I think this one is too tight. Okay, do it. It's not coming out. Good. So that's how you do it. Nice and easy. Just stitch marker, piece of yarn, lighter, scissors, and there you have it. How to add your hearts after you're done. Now I'm going to complete the rest of it. Thanks for watching.